after Nitish. So we've seen this in Maharashtra that you grow together. There was a belief at one time in Maharashtra that you cannot win without regional parties. You know, the BJP has almost gotten to a point where it is going to be able to win perhaps without a regional party in the next few
Bihar, I'll tell you one thing. The BJP does not have a leader or a face in Bihar who can actually motivate and mobilize the party and cadre out to choose only for that party. BJP does not have it.
In Maharashtra, BJP went on shopping and they shopped very well.
shopping
while comparisons are important, it's important to also understand the political context of a state. Bihar is not like the other states of the country, and the type of alliance the BJP has built up in Bihar is very distinct. And the fact that they had to retain Nitish as part of their alliance indicates the importance of the regional parties for the BJP in Bihar.
And
therefore that also
where Nitish also realized that he can survive and he can prosper only with the NDA and with the BJP.
And therefore,
he also
even
made
if the BJP emerges as the single largest party in the NDA, I don't think that would imply any chief minister change. You will still have to go with Nitish Kumar.
No, Nitish will be the chief minister. It is just is there a post-Nitish era in the horizon, and should all parties prepare for that in Bihar, especially within the NDA? That's one question. What they will do in the next 5 years under Nitish Kumar, if these results hold, we'll have to see. Now the lead has slipped down under 150. It's 149.
I think there is one other change that will happen in the next 5 years. If you looked at Hindutva, it was supposedly worked pretty well as an umbrella strategy. I think in Bihar, we have what Professor Shastri said, they've got the caste equations right. But if the BJP and the NDA, I would say overall, is smart, they will shift the narrative to development. No, it's not the development of Maharashtra, but it's a development of something that is unique to Bihar. Any discussion of post-Nitish, frankly, doesn't really make sense because he's going to be there.
So, next 5 years, they're going to plan what they're going to do. Just another 6 seats to go, of which the leads have not yet come. They have not yet been plotted, viewers. And the NDA has crossed the 150 number again, 152 leads. If those 6 seats come, will this further go inch towards the 160 mark? That's the target that was set by the NDA for themselves. Yes, Nalin, and then Rahul.
So, one of the reasons why Bihar is different, and the point that Professor Shastri was making about the alliance politics, Bihar is unlike UP. So, for example, Bihar has about 10% more forward caste than UP. Bihar has about 4.5% more Yadavs than UP. The 17-18% Muslims roughly, those get, in UP they get divided up, but in Bihar they go either to Congress or RJD. And most importantly, UP has BSP, which cuts about 10%, 12% of the vote, which is not there in Bihar. Which is why alliance matrix in Bihar becomes specifically very, very important. And the BJP's sort of vote base is a very nice complementarity with JDU's vote base. They both need each other significantly.
And it's transferability of votes, which is perhaps not happening in other places.
See, I think Bihar is distinct in the Hindi heartland. Bihar is the only state where BJP never had a CM. In all other Hindi heartland states, BJP had a CM. Second, Bihar politics has always been delivering a coalition government, whereas UP and other states have started delivering single party majority. And the reason that's happening, BJP in Haryana or most states where it entered after 2014, what was the strategy? Basically create a wedge between the OBC caste and a Dalit caste. In Bihar, Nitish Kumar had already done that. He had done the Yadav minus EBC mobilization. He had done the Paswan minus Mahadalit mobilization. So in that sense, it leaves very little space for the BJP to grow without Nitish Kumar.
Right, Sohail Seth is also there. Just a quick word. Sohail ji, you've been listening. Your thoughts?
My worry is not about Nitish Kumar at all. And by the way, no leader, no politician leaves power on their own violation. Either God calls them or the population calls them back from their offices. My concern here is about the future of the Congress. And since Rashid is there and he's one person who knows the Congress better than perhaps most people do, my worry is how long will the Congress continue its massive decline because of this intellectual giant they have leading them? Because what is happening is you're destroying a great alternative. I'm not bothered about whether it's Gandhi or Modi or whoever it is. In a democracy, whether you like it or not, Congress is the only other pan-national party. And for the Congress to be consistent both in its decline and denial is something that is worrisome. So Rashid, since Rashid guides Rahul Gandhi on a daily basis and is the closest advisor to Priyanka, let Rashid weigh.
Wait, this is what we're going to do.
the room, by the way,
Swapan Das
on
Gupta
the
is getting mic'd up. Rashid bhai, please come back into, come to me. Come here. Rashid bhai, come here. This is all live, that's all right, no problem. Our viewers are understanding what we're doing. Aye, Rashid bhai, idhar aiye. That question was to you, so you have to answer. So I'll get to use my mic. Come. हम शेयर कर लेंगे उसमें क्या
Mr. Suhail Seth has he's my dear friend, but he always exaggerates. He knows that nobody can advise, Gandhis, particularly Rahul and Priyanka. Like you, I'm an independent observer, and we do comment and make a livelihood out of it. But capacity to advise.
Who has written more books on the Gandhis, which even the Gandhis can't read or haven't read?
I've written on Scindias also, so I mean, I
But
don't
you're
advise
talking
them.
about people who don't like to read
But your
about
point,
themselves.
you see, the Gandhis need to sort of reinvent and look at. They think that it is their, duty to take.
It's called entitlement. It's a simple word, entitlement.
नहीं वो बोल रहे हैं कि कांग्रेस का क्या होगा ये लीडरशिप कब चेंज होगी
Well, I would say the corpse is still alive and kicking, so it will continue.
Anand, there's an old saying in
saying
a
the
particular
corpse is
play.
still alive and kicking.
It says, operation successful, patient dead. That is
Well, I
the
think that
surgical
on a
prowess
more
of the
serious
Congress
note,
party
I think
today.
the test of Congress will come in the next round of assembly elections when it will be a direct contender.
Arey
Particularly
yaar,
in
you said
Kerala,
that. You said that 10, 11 years ago also. कि उनका टाइम आएगा, उनका टाइम आएगा, उनका टाइम
11
आएगा.
years ago, they won in Kerala.
Arey, now see, by that logic, they also won 2 MLA seats in UP. Now, Rashid, if you have to defend them, don't
thank you.
defend them. Itna,
No, thank you, Rashid ji. You're going to get some grub. We got Swapan Das Gupta ji is also. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Thank you very much. आइए कुर्सी आपके लिए वेकेट कर दी गई देखिए आपके लिए कुर्सी तैयार है. Yes, yes, Zaka. What's the plot?
So just quick check on the map. So it's 150 par as it was for the NDA. Just a breakup of the alliance partners. The BJP at 68, the JDU at 68. I keep looking at the gains. For the JDU, it's a 25-seat gain from 2020. BJP is down 6, but remember, the BJP is fighting 14 seats less this time. The LJP. And I think this is a pretty good record. Out of 29 seats that he's fighting, he's leading in 14, the Ham Party in 4 and the RLM in 2. But really, I think the story of the NDA alliance is the revival of the JDU. And if you look at the map, it's across. The light green of the JDU is across different regions, whether it's in Bhojpur, whether it is in Magad, whether it is in the eastern part, the Bhagalpur belt, or even in Mithilanchal. They seem to be doing across regions, and when a party does well across regions, you know it's pulling its weight. So it's neck and neck between the JDU and the BJP as far as the NDA alliance is concerned. India alliance, on the other hand, it's a different story. The only color you see largely is purple, which is the RJD. But even the RJD is 20 seats down from last time. Last time the RJD had 75, they're down to 52. The Congress had 19 last time, they're down to 17. Again, the left parties, between all of them, CPML, CPI, CPM, they had 15 last time. They're down to 7 seats.
Zaka, the leads have been at 238 for a while now, but the NDA seat count has been going up. It went up from 152 to 157. That means increasingly, as we are plotting Bihar live for us viewers, as the results are coming in, the leads are coming in, viewers, the NDA is pulling more seats away from the INDIA. Swapanji, welcome. Please, your thoughts. My apologies, you are Swapan and Swapan Das Gupta. I end up saying Swapan Das. My apologies. पहले ही माफी मांग लेता हूँ. Swapan जी बताइए.
Well, thanks for getting the ethnic things right. But I think what's very clear is that this is quite an emphatic mandate. What at least it appears to be at present. And secondly, that the pool machinery which the NDA has set up, which is based not on might or muscle power, it's based really on certain arithmetic, juggling of arithmetic, playing expediently caste politics at times, class politics at times, other factors, whenever it suits them. That seems to have worked again in a very good way, just like it did in Delhi, where really it was the organization at the micro level which played the part, and in Haryana, which too again. So it's that same pattern which is being repeated in Maharashtra, Haryana, Delhi,
160,
Bihar.
240 leads, 160 number. 160 was the target that was set by the NDA. 3 more leads that have yet to come, and they seem to be continuously moving in one way. Is this holds? Yeah. And we are getting into the third round of counting in a lot of the counting centers. First round of counting of EVMs is already done. 46 counting centers and all.
Yes. Trend start when a party or an alliance is ahead.
161 now.
As it closes, they tend to get the advantage.
Together,
so
yeah,
I will not be surprised if that goes even higher as you get to the end.
Now, this is historic. This is a historic mandate. The last time, just past the post, 2 or 3 past the post, there was a lot of noise that you've doctored, engineered the last 10, 12 seats just to get past the post, etc. And this is settled beyond doubt. This is settled beyond. Now, go back to my question in the morning. Ye tonwa thik nahi lag raha hai. Ji.
No, I'm going to go back to that development-led growth conversation, because I think now that for the voting pattern to change from like the caste politics to development-led, performance-led voting, I feel like going back to again what Mr. Seth said, that infrastructure is very much required. I think that increases and changes aspirations of people, and I think that's where BJP kind of brings in its strong suit also in that double engine Sarkar performance, and I think that's the game changer here.
Look at it. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Just have a look at it. 52% vote share. See, this is the NDA's best ever. The NDA has never gotten above 43, 44%, if my memory serves me right. 52%, more than half the percent vote share the NDA has pulled, because the cameos have also been fantastic. LJP, HAM have all added, along with the JDU and the BJP doing well. And look at the INDIA, 37%
gap between the two. It's basically a 2-horse race. I mean, I don't think Jansuraj or any of the other 3rd or 4th players matter in this election. It's a 2-horse race, and if there's a 15% gap between the two alliances, then I think it's a runaway victory, and that's what we're seeing in the seats as well.
In my mind about Tejashwi Yadav.
Right.
Yes, he's done better than the Congress, but the question is, does he offer anything beyond what his father gave him? And I suspect the answer to that is no. He was novelty last time. He's no longer a novelty. Clearly, the people and politics is not about the perfection, finding perfection, but it's about the half loaf, right? So, does he offer anything that the people credibly believe will take them to a different level? Now, if he is not able to do that, my personal belief is that Tejaswi's vote share going forward is going to be tough to hold, because there will be other people nipping at his heels for that same MY base.
Same MY, but now the MY factor itself changes to Mahila and Yuva.
Correct, exactly.
And we're going to quote Sandeep ji very aggressively, and I'm going to borrow him, because he said, one, who's got the trust factor? Yes, unemployment is an issue. Who does a Bihar voter trust will solve this issue for us? The second one is the alliance chemistry. Now, this alliance chemistry is far more visible within the NDA than anybody else. We got something else also to show you. Rahul Shivshankar walks in. Good early morning. Yeah, you're walking on a good day and a good time.
Well, the EVMs are not having such a great time, unfortunately, because we've already got the Congress stepping in and saying that, look, when you delete a large number of voters, etc., there's going to be a problem. And of course,
you saw the vote share,
the
right?
EVMs.
You saw the vote share. Now have a look at the YouTube numbers. We got to flaunt it a little, because when it swings one way, it swings one way. Just putting out these numbers as Rahul walks in. See, 1 lakh.
Good omen.
1,18,000 concurrent views. So from 83 to 1,18,000, 1,14,000. That's where the numbers are. Viewers, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
These numbers have been consistent through the
over 1,14,000 concurrent views. Please keep watching. Please keep staying on with us. Now we are also adding muscle. So Rahul Shivshankar also walks into this election broadcast
where the points here.
Trends are very
I've been looking at some of the trends that have been coming through. A large number of preconceived notions are now collapsing. So you are seeing also in Simanchal inroads that have been made into seats that were actually RJD and Congress bastions. That tells you that substantially there is also this huge talk about, you see, constant Muslim bastion, this, that, the other. That's beginning to sort of waver too.
And a lot of those are JDU seats. JDU didn't have much in Simanchal last time around.
So
in Simanchal, the JDU...
But where is the Muslim vote going?
So no, the polarization...
Is it the Muslim vote?
The polarization works both ways, right?
That's right, but...
There's a reverse polarization that happens.
But Zaka, the turnouts in these seats in Simanchal were much higher. 10, 12, 15% higher.
That's correct.
And then when you look at Bhojpur, have a look at Bhojpur. There are changes taking place in Bhojpur. There are changes taking place in Mithilanchal. So clearly, obviously there is a coalition that is coming through and a positive message is being rewarded.
No, absolutely. Look, I've been saying this since morning. When the NDA and particularly the JDU is doing well across regions, then you know it's pulling its weight. It's going towards closer to perhaps even a 2/3 sort of a situation. And if this numbers hold, they might actually get to a 2/3 majority.
The BJP holding its own, is it becoming the default party of choice in Bihar, slowly and steadily? Is that what we're seeing?
So it's 75 to the JDU is now currently the higher party, the larger party in the alliance. The BJP is at 72, LJP at 14. So that's 29 seats that he fought. 14 he's leading in currently. But the JDU and I keep pointing, they had 43 last time.
This is a 50% strike rate.
It's a 50% strike rate.
Adding to the JDU turnout also, because remember it really undercut the JDU in almost those many seats.
The JDU had 43,
Rahul Verma,
up 32 from last time.
I think, see, once you have like a alliance leading in 2/3 of the seats and you have them 50% plus vote share, I think every region sort of caste blocks, everything is going to be flattened. So I don't think that is going to be any different. I think what seems to be happening in favor of the NDA is basically a combination of everything working together. So it looks like at 10 a.m.
You're saying that the Yadav vote has stuck to the RJD. Is that what you're saying? I don't think Yadav, that could be the outcome when you're beginning to lose. Look,
all parties have serious social base. That's why they exist in society, right? So Yadav and Muslims will stick to RJD, but at 50% vote share, there will be a chipping away of some Yadav votes also towards NDA, right? So 80% Yadav may still vote for RJD, but when one sub-coalition is crossing 50% mark, then it's basically going to be gained across segments.
You know the incremental vote which the BJP has got, and I think here, BJP, I mean the NDA has got, I think we must really take into account what the SIR has done. Because by eliminating at least the dead voters, you know, you might think, but having fought elections, I can tell you how important that is. Because whoever has the might in the locality ensures that the dead come alive on election day.
Especially in West Bengal.
West Bengal is, of course, a classic example of that. But Bihar, you see, Bihar has moved away from violence to quiet manipulation. And here, I don't think that has been eliminated entirely. But at least what has happened is that here, there has been a far more level playing field which has been in existence. And that has resulted...
Mr. Das Gupta, at least a 5%, if you discount the SIR, there's at least a 5% jump in turnout, which is clearly having an impact.
Which has moved in favor of the BJP NDA.
So this coalition has been better at effectively mobilizing its own voters. That's something that we can say, and is that on the back of a positive?
That's what I'm saying. That's the pattern. From Delhi, Haryana, Maharashtra, this has been the pattern. You mobilize every available supporter to turn out.
BJP state chief's first reactions coming through. Let's listen in.
सवाल बीजेपी स्टेट प्रेसिडेंट इज विद अस दिलीप जी जो रुझान है इनिशियल रुझान वो आपके फेवर में लग रहे हैं कैसे देखते हैं
नहीं वो तो जनता ने मन बना लिया था जनता ने मन बना लिया था कि फिर एक बार एनडीए की सरकार बनानी है और ये आज नहीं आज करीब एक महीने से अंदाज लग रहा था कि जनता एक तरफा जो है जो हमने विकास के काम किए हैं जो कानून का राज दिया है उस पर जनता विश्वास कर रही है
बिहार में आप घूमे हैं क्या ऐसे मुद्दे आपको लगे 3-4 जो लोगों को बिल्कुल लगे हैं और जिस पर उन्होंने वोट किया है
कानून का राज दूसरा नीतीश कुमार जी ने विकास का काम जो किया है और तीसरा नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जिस तरह से केंद्र डबल इंजन की सरकार में केंद्र का मदद बिहार को दिया है बिहार के जनता ने मोदी जी के गारंटी पर भरोसा
अलायंस की जो परफॉर्मेंस है उसे कैसे देखते हैं आप
हमें जाना है
He's the state BJP chief. Of course, it is a big credit to him and his team that they managed this. But look at the map of Bihar. It's either green or it's saffron all the way. It's the JDU and the BJP, the NDA alliance, which is sweeping this election. 166 is 2/3 majority for the NDA, something that we haven't seen in the last many elections. But therein also there is a story where it is the JDU which is emerging as the senior partner in that sense. 75 to the JDU and 72.
Look at the east of the state, Nalin. Look at the east of the state.
So absolutely, Rahul Zaka. So when you look at the region-wise map of Bihar, barring Bhojpur, in every single region of Bihar, Bhagalpur, Magad, Mithila, Simanchal, Tirut, you were saying the east of state, it's a sweep for the NDA. Only in Bhojpur they're neck and neck, but even there they're leading. There are about 7-8 seats.
Look, I've also been told that there are about 60 seats where the leads are very narrow.
That's
so
true.
there's
But when I'm looking at the vote share data at the moment,
but the
vote share data at the moment is around 24-25% for BJP, which if that holds is about 4-5% more than what they had in Lok Sabha.
Absolutely.
Interestingly,
and that's why I'm asking, are more voters that were traditional voters, Mr. Shastri, traditional voters of the MGB, actually now moving away? Is there a greater coalition forming at the social level? That's a fun, and I think we'll have a look at those filters. But yes,
the NDA is leading now in 168 seats, obviously there are several factors which have come in to allow that to happen. And yes, I think the social calculus in Bihar is changing. The MY vote may have gone to the JDU, but I'm sure a chunk of it has moved to the NDA also. And the NDA has built a social coalition of all groups, upper caste, backward caste, most backward castes have moved with them, and that has contributed to these numbers which we are seeing.
So we're looking at the M factor, the Mahila factor.
Exactly.
These are 124 seats where the women have outvoted the men by 10% or more. There, in the 124 seats, 95 of those seats are going to the NDA, only 26 to the India Alliance. That's a 3/4 to kind of a situation,
And most of these are second
voting
phase
blocks that have been added to the NDA.
These are all second phase polling. That's correct. These are all second phase
so
polling.
I'd be interested to find out what's really happening in the Yadav-dominated seats. Any ideas, Nalin, from your data, what's happening in that filter? Because these are seats where
I'll just look it up.
I think this election has perhaps been won and lost, to be honest.
So the sense that I have is that the Yadav vote has stayed with the RJD. It's just that unlike Akhilesh Yadav in UP, Rahul, Tejashwi Yadav over here has not built a broader social coalition. So he's remained stuck with Yadavs and
in
the
fact,
Muslims.
the JDU
and he's remained
cut down
stuck
the
at
number of
below that threshold.
Yadav seats that
these are the Tejashwi Yatra seats. They are not necessarily Yadav-dominated seats. But again, in the Tejashwi Yatra seats, remember, he went on a separate Yatra after Rahul Gandhi, after that whole Vote Adhikar Yatra. He went on a separate one after that. Even in those seats, it's the NDA which has substantial number of 46 to 20. And there, look at the JDU. The JDU is 30 and the BJP only 12. So traditional JDU seats where RJD was hoping to make inroads, expand the caste coalition, Tejashwi Yadav has not been able to do that.
Rahul, the vote share data is showing us that RJD currently is at 22.94%, which, by the way, was the exact percentage it had in the Lok Sabha election, and about a little bit less than what it had in 2020. What that's telling us is that while it's retaining that vote percentage, its seat share getting stuck. It's telling us that its support base has remained stuck with only core constituencies of Yadavs and Muslims. They have not been able to attract other castes or other social groups.
I think they are losing some Yadav votes by simple arithmetic. Last time they had 38% vote. Add VIP to it, it's around 39-40. This time, if they are around 35% vote share, it means that the India coalition has lost 5% vote. And that's much more likely to come from Yadav than Muslims.
That's right. And the point that I was trying to make earlier was that there is a definite movement towards perhaps a positive message. I don't think Rahul Gandhi's message of an SIR being the, malfeasant, this thing of the election commission has worked. I don't think that has worked at all.
The number of votes for women actually were cut under the SIR. And they have outvoted the men in this election. So how do you explain that?
Yes, both of you,
And where they are losing the Yadav votes, I do think that we'll come back to what we started off in the morning, that Mahila cuts across caste lines, right? So a lot of that has moved towards the NDA, that's one. And second, it is also about credibility. Of course, Tejaswi's newness has gone, but in terms of credibility also, when he's offering jobs, because that was a big factor when we started off in the morning, are people buying the job narrative? But the problem here is that where are they coming from? Where are the jobs going to come from? People saw what happened in Karnataka and the trust simply did not build.
Yes. If there is a 5% drop of the India Alliance vote, it could also be the non-Yadav OBC which partly was with the India Alliance has moved.
No, but I think what Rahul Verma is saying is that there is a traditional vote base.
Dropping 2-3%. Other parties
have also
RJD is holding its vote.
RJD I think is holding its vote.
Rahul, I want to make a quick point. On the SIR impact, Two things. Our reporters told us on the ground that it was not resonating on the ground, Rahul Gandhi was campaigning. When you look at the seats affected by SR in particular, NDA is sweeping those seats, 76 to NDA versus India Alliance 28 seats. So about 108.
Let me just quickly go across to Pallavi. She has the first reaction coming out of the RJD, I believe. Pallavi.
That's right. I've got Mr. Mrityunjay Tiwari with us at this point of time. सबसे पहले क्या कांग्रेस को साथ लेके आप लोगों के ऊपर भारी पड़ा?
अभी तो शुरुआती रुझान है, अभी थोड़ा 1-2 घंटे और इंतजार करते हैं।
काफी रुझान से काफी साफ हो गया है कि किस तरफ हवा चली है।
ये है हवा का रुख कई बार पलटा है और 2015 के विधानसभा चुनाव के परिणाम देखें 2020 के, इसलिए हमें पूरा यकीन विश्वास है हम महागठबंधन की सरकार बनाएंगे।
वो तो आप देख लेंगे, लेकिन मैं आपसे सिर्फ ये सवाल 2 पूछना चाहती हूँ बहुत जल्दी। एक, क्या आपको लगता है कि कांग्रेस ने जिस तरह से देरी की तेजस्वी यादव को मुख्यमंत्री का चेहरा बनाने में, उसका थोड़ा बहुत नुकसान हुआ? अगर ऐसा नहीं करते तो शायद आपके चांसेस और अच्छे होते। और दूसरा, वोट चोरी बार बार उन्होंने ही उठाया, आप लोगों ने तो उतना उठाया नहीं।
अभी ये सारे सवालों का जवाब देना हम उचित नहीं समझते हैं जब तक पूरे परिणाम का इंतजार नहीं करते।
आपको लगता है कि पहले उनका अनाउंसमेंट हो जाना चाहिए था मुख्यमंत्री का चेहरा?
आप
इतना तो मान लीजिए।
नहीं, कैसे मान सकते हैं? अभी हम कह रहे हैं हम सरकार बनाने जा रहे हैं, थोड़ा इंतजार कीजिए, सारे चीजों का जवाब देंगे।
अच्छा, आखिरी सवाल, क्या आपको लगता है, मैं वही सवाल दोबारा पूछ रही हूँ आपसे, क्या आपको लगता है कांग्रेस को थोड़ा सा पहले उनको अनाउंस कर देते और एडवांटेज होता?
देखिए थोड़ा इंतजार कीजिए, सब क्लियर हो जाएगा, इसमें कहीं कोई दिक्कत नहीं है।
आप यहीं रहेंगे तब मुझे बात करोगे आप?
हम तो कह रहे हैं कि हम 2 घंटे के बाद सब सवालों का आपका जवाब दे देंगे।
चलो ठीक है, 2 घंटे बाद। As of now, I'm just getting, before going to toss back to you, you can see the laltain here, kind of little bit lit on, but the people over here are clued in to watch the television sets to get an idea of what the results are. You heard what Mrityunjay Tiwari had to say. Incidentally, he was one of the first persons who had insisted that the Congress party must announce Tejashwi Yadav as the CM face. He's not saying much now, but I think that hint is very much there. The RJD certainly was very upset with a lackluster campaign.
Well, they're being a little restrained here in trying to suggest that they didn't get the arithmetic right or whether the Congress was a liability. So that's a very instructive interview there. Let me go straight across to Arun Dhata, who's there with us, with a BJP MP from the BJP headquarters in Patna. Arun, over to you.
Yes, Rahul. I am at the BJP headquarters in Patna, and we have BJP's MP Manan Mishra with us. Manan ji, अभी we were listening to Mrityunjay Tiwari, RJD के जो नेता हैं, वो अभी भी ये कह रहे हैं कि आप इंतजार कीजिए, हमारी जीत होने वाली है।
देखिए, अब वो मृत्युंजय तिवारी, तेजस्वी जो भी कहें, लेकिन नतीजे सामने हैं, रुझान आपके सामने है, इसमें कोई बहुत बड़ा बदलाव आने को नहीं है। एनडीए की सरकार पूर्ण बहुमत से 2/3 से भी ज़्यादा से हम बनाएंगे और ये अब सामने है। अब तेजस्वी कुछ भी कहें, उनके लोग कुछ भी कहें, उसमें कोई जान नहीं।
आरोप ये भी लगा जो आपने 10,000 रुपए की जो स्कीम थी आपकी, कि आप रिश्वत दी है आपने उसके थ्रू लोगों को, आपने वोट खरीदे हैं।
महिलाओं को अपने पाँव पे खड़ा होने के लिए वो दिया गया, वो रिश्वत नहीं है, वो एक विकास के रास्ते में वो एक काम, अच्छा काम किया गया, तो उसको आप रिश्वत, ये तेजस्वी कुछ भी कहें, राहुल कुछ भी कहें, उसका कोई असर जनता पर नहीं है।
इस परफॉर्मेंस के लिए क्या आप मुद्दे अहम मानते हैं जो इस तरह के एनडीए की परफॉर्मेंस रही है?
लगातार माननीय मोदी जी के और नीतीश जी के नेतृत्व में महिलाओं के विकास के लिए, बुजुर्गों के लिए, युवाओं के लिए जो काम लगातार किए गए, आम जन के लिए, आप बिहार की सड़कें देख लीजिए, बिहार में बिजली की उपलब्धता देख लीजिए, ये सारे काम जब आप देखेंगे तो ये सबका एक मिला जुला असर जनता के दिमाग में था, जो उन्होंने बटन दबा के 6 तारीख को, 11 तारीख को एनडीए की सरकार पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ बनाने का निर्णय लिया, वही असर।
और जो आपके पार्टनर्स हैं अलायंस के, उनकी परफॉर्मेंस कैसे देखते हैं आप, क्योंकि अभी बीजेपी आगे है सबसे ज्यादा?
Well, friends, let's have a quick look now at the strike rates, because this really is the untold story of this election. We were perhaps not expecting this. A number of exit polls, even those that suggested that this was going to be a tight one, had suggested that the JDU would be the #1 party, but that the RJD would hold its own, that its strike rate would be up there, the Congress would add as a force multiplier, and therefore this was going to be a tight one. But there you can see it's the BJP that has a very high strike rate there of 74%. Remember, it's contesting fewer seats this time. The JDU also contesting 101 seats, but clearly outperforming its own self over 2020. And that's because the LJP and some of the other alliance partners within the NDA have been able to transfer their vote. So you're seeing that big comeback by Nitish Kumar, sentiment driven most probably. But it also does tell you that while the JDU is back with 71%, there is a message in this. If these numbers hold 75, 72, that the BJP is now beginning to be seen as an option also. I remember this is the one state where the BJP has never come to power on its own. So is that changing? The RJD strike rate at 36%, it was at about 54% at the last 2020, and that was an election that was held during COVID, so there was a lot of dissident vote that came through, but that is a poor statistic for it. It's holding on to its vote base, but we don't know if more Muslims have voted for it, and therefore maybe a few Yadav votes have shifted, and that's why it's and there's Congress, very poor, underperforming, probably pulling that engine back. Let's go straight across to Shivani. Shivani, who joins me straight from Patna. Shivani, a big moment in this election, 4 or 5 rounds now down. These trends are holding, and this is not looking good for the MGB or the Congress in particular.
Absolutely. The Congress is going to be facing a lot of questions, Rahul, but you talked about that strike rate. The BJP strike rate currently better than the JDU. Will that make any difference to the equation on ground? Let me take that question directly to the BJP representative with us. कुछ बदलेगा क्या जो आपका equation है नीतीश कुमार के साथ because of the fact that BJP has a better strike rate right now than JDU?
This is a win for NDA under leadership of Narendra Modi ji. NDA collectively is winning.
Under leadership of
Narendra Modi ji. Narendra Modi ji is the one who is leading NDA throughout the country. और यहाँ भी मोदी जी का जादू चला है.
तो आप मानते
जीत रही है. NDA is winning. NDA is winning.
नहीं तो चीफ मिनिस्टर पे कुछ अब क्या होगा डिसीजन?
Chief Minister. You know, electing a chief minister is a process. It's a constitutional process. So the NDA, MLAs and parliamentary board has to decide this. How can I sitting on your camera decide about who?
No, but there you have it. There you have it. Now the BJP is saying that the parliamentary board and the MLAs will decide the chief minister. Till yesterday you were saying Nitish Kumar is your chief minister.
We fought under leadership of Narendra Modi ji. Nitish Kumar ji was our face in Bihar. But now things are clear. Parliamentary board and MLAs will be deciding who will be the chief minister.
So there you have it. I think the first difference of the equation on ground is already beginning to emerge, and this is going to become the topic now, whether the equation on ground will change and there will be a difference in the chief minister. आप कैसे मानते हैं? आपके alliance partner कह रहे हैं भाई अब तो decide होगा MLAs, BJP के ज़्यादा MLAs हैं.
देखिए ये सारे एमएलए जानते हैं कि नीतीश कुमार जी ही चेहरा थे और उन्हीं के नेतृत्व में चुनाव लड़के सब जीत के आए हैं और 2005 से लगातार जनता का आशीर्वाद नीतीश कुमार को प्राप्त हुआ. जिस तरह नीतीश कुमार जी ने पिछड़ों के लिए, अति पिछड़ों के लिए, दलितों के लिए, अल्पसंख्यकों के लिए, महिलाओं के लिए काम किया है, ये सामाजिक न्याय की जीत है और 25 से 30 मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी बनेंगे. ये सारे विधानसभा, सारे जिलों में सारे एनडीए के नेताओं ने कहा है.
So, you know, the situation on the ground is now very clear. Yesterday when I spoke to the BJP Bihar president, he said Panch Pandav. They're calling their alliance an alliance of Panch Pandav. And in a way, all Panch Pandav have done well.
That's true.
But who's the Arjun out of that Pandavs is the big question.
Well,
and BJP certainly believes that they have hit the bullseye and they are the Arjun of this Mahabharat.
You know, the fact is right now, Shivani, that there'll be a large number of local cadre who will get swept up by this emotion and maybe even veer towards hubris. But I think the Sena heads at the center and those that really shape this alliance will decide. Let's go straight across now to Arunima, who is also amongst a large number of people. JDU office, the JDU outperforming in this particular election. Arunima, big relief for Nitish Kumar.
Yes, so at the JDU office, there's a steady stream of supporters who are coming in. More and more JDU Karyakartas are now trooping into the office here. The district president has just walked in. Sanjay Jha, who's the JDU's working president, he is expected in a short while from now. जैसी उम्मीद थी कि JDU उभरेगी सबसे बड़ी पार्टी के हिसाब से NDA के अंदर, ऐसा लग रहा है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी JDU से आगे निकल जाएगी।
जी बिल्कुल, मुझे तो विश्वास है, लेकिन मैं ये भी कहना चाहता हूँ कि एनडीए एक हमारा एक परिवार है, ये साथ में चलें, कोई आगे कोई पीछे रहे।
क्या तैयारी है यहाँ पे? पटाखे वटाखे ले आए हैं आप?
पटाखे का भी तैयारी है, मिठाई का भी तैयारी है, लड्डू का भी तैयारी है, ढोल बाजे का भी तैयारी है। नीतीश कुमार मुख्यमंत्री थे और रहेंगे, टाइगर अभी जिंदा है।
अच्छा, नीतीश कुमार मुख्यमंत्री रहेंगे अगर बीजेपी के ज्यादा लोग जीत कर आए जेडीयू के मुकाबले, क्या तब भी नीतीश ही मुख्यमंत्री रहेंगे?
देखिए, बीजेपी कितना वो सीट गया है, मेरा एनडीए का साथी है और ये तय है कि पूरा एनडीए तय कर लिया है, पूरा बिहार तय कर लिया कि नीतीश कुमार ही सीएम रहेंगे। अच्छा। तो कोई दूसरा नहीं बनेगा, नीतीश कुमार ही रहेंगे।
अच्छा, लेकिन आपने कहा था 25 से 30, फिर से नीतीश 30 तक रह जाएंगे नीतीश?
बिल्कुल रहेंगे। जब बिहार की जनता ने उन पर अपना बेशुमार प्यार लौटाया, उन्होंने 20 सालों में जो काम किया, 20 साल में सत्ता रहने के बाद इतनी बड़ी बहुमत से जीत, जब बिहारियों के हृदय में बसते हैं नीतीश कुमार, उसका परिणाम है कि नीतीश कुमार पुनः गद्दी पे बैठने वाले हैं और उनके लिए गद्दी का मतलब है जनता की सेवा, ना कि निजी स्वार्थ।
Okay, so here at the JDU office, the Karyakartas don't care whether the BJP gets more numbers or the JDU gets more numbers. They are sure that it is Nitish Kumar who will be the chief minister, and not just the chief minister temporarily. Their view is that he's going to continue his full term. But this is definitely a debating point right now, whether NDA will see a change of guard sooner rather than later.
Sooner or rather than later, well, that's a point, because remember, there is also an equation at the center that needs to be maintained. Arunima, thank you very much for that. Let me just go straight across to Zach. Zach?
So on the Modi factor that you were asking, the rallies that the Prime Minister did in Bihar, he had about 13, 14 rallies. It plots to about 90 odd seats, and look at it. I mean, it's a runaway lead for the NDA. 67 out of those 94 seats, the NDA is leading. And if you look at, the breakup between the BJP and the JDU, it's helping the JDU as much as it is helping the BJP, and it's across regions. It is in the eastern part of the state, which we were talking about, Trihut, which is the JDU stronghold. The central part of the state, the JDU has picked up a lot of seats. There's also a few seats up in the Champaran. So if you look at the Modi factor, it has made a significant difference.
It's kicking in. So obviously the trust factor, the credibility is important. Yes, sir, you wanted to make a point, Nalin.
To this point, if you compare this Modi factor to 2020, you will see that the potency of this increased significantly. In the last election, in the rallies, seats that Modi campaigned on, and there's always a difference between a Vidhan Sabha election and a Lok Sabha election. In the last Vidhan Sabha, it was even Stevens, and it was difficult seat.
It was
this time, it's a complete
43.
There you go.
It was a neck and neck, even though the India Alliance had a slightly higher
and that was
share,
a COVID election.
It was a COVID
so there
election,
was disaffection.
Fewer rallies also.
And fewer rallies, and also the migrants were sort of. And let's have a look actually at that migrant filter.
This time's Modi map, and the result of that is looking very similar to what happened a year ago in 2024. The similar seats and similar results.
So it's like almost like a 2:3 kind of a seat share breakup.
Yeah, that's a great conversion for Modi personally and his brand. Yogi, of course, also hit the tracks there in Simanchal. That might have actually led a lot to the polarized nature of that particular outcome. But Nistula, did you see this coming?
Yes, I did. It was pretty clear, and I went fairly early in the election cycle because we had like people going in batches, and I said I'll go first. I went there even before the seat adjustment had been announced, and it was, as I said earlier also, this was an election around Nitish Kumar.
Do you think it was the first mover's advantage?
I think everything worked for them, but there was also a huge overhang of sentimentality around Nitish. And there was a feeling among his voters that the last time they may have failed him, but this time they need to get him on par with the BJP so that there's no question about who's going to be the chief minister.
I think there are just two words that explain this election in a simple way: entitlement and tone deaf. I suspect the Congress and Tejashwi said, I'm sorry to use Hindi the sentence, but mere baap ka raj hai. And I think that tone deafness, where they thought just by getting together they were going to win, that entitlement is going to cause them damage. Take a simple example of SIR. They kept going, and I mean, it's my way or highway, people say highway. But SIR, there are people who may not want
more
illegal
information on
immigrants to be there.
leads coming in through Griha. Atul, let me go straight across to Griha, who's in the hub, in the live result hub. Griha.
Yes, we have an update on Tejashwi Yadav. We do know that he's leading from Raghopur, but there are 30 rounds of counting, EVM countings that are going to happen. Right now, it's just the first round, and he's leading only by 893 votes so far, Rahul. We also have an update on Maithili, another star candidate of the Bharatiya Janata Party. She maintains her lead. Again, first round of counting that is on, and the lead is only by 1,826 votes. And there is a neck and neck that's going on as the RJD candidate Kesari is right now struggling to maintain that lead. So he is trailing. Choti Kumari of the BJP is leading as far as Chhapra is concerned. So that's how the fight really remains. But in very many of the constituencies, if we take a look at the constituencies where BJP is leading, there are about 6 rounds of counting that have taken place in many of the BJP constituencies that we have, particularly in Muzaffarpur, where we see right now 3 rounds, and in Orai we have 6 rounds of counting that has been completed so far. So it is a quick counting that is happening in very many of BJP seats.
What are you making out on the number of rounds in most of the seats? Is it 50%? Are we seeing more than 6 or around 6? Or is it fewer than that?
So that's what I was mentioning, Rahul, that wherever BJP is leading, we do see that the number of rounds of counting has in fact gone up to 6. And I mentioned Orai over here. There are some more seats where BJP is leading, where we do see how the number of the rounds of counting has increased. There you see in Sahibganj as well, where you have Raju Kumar Singh leading by 3,824 votes. There the 5th round of counting is happening. If I take a look at where RJD is leading, right now the maximum number of rounds so far is 3rd round, which is going on in Mahishi and also in Kurhani. These are the 2 places.
That's very interesting. Zach, what do you make of that?
Youth factor. I mean, we've been talking about migrant labor. So we looked at the top 10 districts where there is outflow of young people in the age group of 18 to 29, and it plots to about 90 odd seats. And if you look at it, Rahul, again, a bulk of these migrant seats are in the northern part of the state. They're either in Mithilanchal or they're up in the
Kosi region.
Yeah, and then there is, of course, a couple of these districts like Rohtas, etc. in the south. But again, look at the numbers. The NDA at 71 out of these 97 seats. The India Alliance only 25. And the point also being that last time people were willing to give the RJD a chance because they had 19 seats more. They had 44 seats in the same migrant labor belt. Last time around, they're almost 20 seats down this time. All of that has gone
these are
to the
young
NDA.
voters,
young voters,
perhaps up till about 35. They were supposed to go the other way.
Exactly.
They were not responsive to Nitish.
It's not working.
It's not working.
It's not worked for the RJD.
So are we seeing, Swapan Das Gupta, are we seeing the young invest in the future by suggesting that these are the people who can actually do something for us?
Well, I think
rather than just be swayed by their
and the migrants and most of the other castes are basically moving with a general tide. I don't think there's anything specific here.
No, because unemployment was a big issue.
That was a big issue.
But they feel that there is a better hope
right.
for them. You know, the credibility.
So they're investing in hope.
The credibility of the NDA was greater than the credibility of the
brand Modi and brand Nitish represent certain things.
They complement each other in various ways. And I think, much of the conjecture about whether Nitish will be upstaged in a palace coup at this moment is grossly premature.